Hey, this is George. Welcome to the show. Just want to remind you that some of the things we talk about might jump into spoiler territory, so please read the show notes or check out bddsci-fi.com for a full list of potential spoilers. Thanks for listening, and without further ado, here are Kevin, Adam, and myself, the Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi podcast. Ice cream's getting melty.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Welcome to the Busy Daddies.
Welcome to Moonbugs and Twizzlers.
Do sugar. See, the problem is, this could be Dudes Do Sci-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
And sugary foods, which they've decided to add to the title. But it's the Busy Daddies thing, which people were just going nuts about.
I think it is specifically...
Is it the word daddies?
It's daddies.
We've been down this road before.
We have.
Busy Daddy Do Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Why?
I think...
Does the name suck and I've just totally normalized it?
I don't think it's
like when I was living in my car?
I don't think...
So are we rolling?
We're rolling. So what about now? The case that you made for doing this intro was something like there needs to be an intro because that's just what you're used to. It's the standard convention.
Oh, I'm not used to anything because I don't really listen to these.
Okay.
But like,
right.
Well, there's usually something.
When
There's usually
hear-
like a... Bam, 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 bam.
The being the busy daddy science fiction.
Well, no matter what we do to start it, it's got to be more interesting than this.
yeah. No, that's it.
All right, good. We got our intro.
Cool.
Down my...
This is
No,
fun.
man, this is how it's supposed to be, man. No, everyone lives at truck stops.
I'm having a blast.
Yeah, no, I brush my
It's
teeth and
great.
just sing. Yeah, it's great.
This is great. You lived in
Woo.
your car? I almost lived in my car when
No.
I first moved here. Yeah. But,
No.
dude, it's not a great title. That's the thing.
What?
It's not.
Now you tell me? Let's change the title.
No, that's the... No, we're not.
We can't do
We
that?
can't do that now. No. We
Can't erase episodes 1 and 2.
Can't
Can't
go back.
be either.
Can't go back.
Can't be done.
What are you crazy?
I might be. I don't know.
All right. Here's the
We
thing.
thanks Haagen-Dazs for
It
sponsoring this episode.
It doesn't matter.
Mm.
I don't know if we can legally say that.
Just did.
Okay. Just did.
Just did.
Just did. Fuck you, Haagen-Dazs.
You don't know my plan?
Is this Haagen-Dazs?
Get sued by them, settle, and make a lot of money.
Oh, boy. I can't wait to...
They make us pay.
I can't wait to
Do we
sell
settle?
out.
Yeah. This is Haagen-Dazs. I
Well,
said it again.
It's really good.
No, man, don't we get a cut every time we say it?
I would like to be paid to eat this ice cream on air.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm saying. On air. Now, look, Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi. It's kind of so cold. So cold. It's kind of a shitty title. And I think that's okay.
I thought it was... I loved it.
We're
It
kind
was
of...
great. Like, I'm like, yeah, we're dads, and we don't even finish books. And we actually do, people. We finish what we start around here.
It's kind of a...
Diamond Age. Neal Stephenson.
Read it this morning.
Fucking
Cover to
great.
cover.
I know, dude.
So
Yeah.
good, man.
It's 639 pages. Who knew?
So good. It was
Who
so
knew?
good. You know what I loved? I loved when the thing happened with the diamonds.
Dude, I mean, I was wondering if he was going to use diamonds in the book or just kind of relate to it on that topic.
Well,
but
one thing was for certain. They aged.
Totally.
They aged.
And the whole thing with the carbon. Crushing and then stuff happened like that.
And then he gives it to Lois Lane.
Mhm.
And they get married. Yeah.
And was it Leonardo DiCaprio? Comes in there, saves
Yeah,
Africa?
he's in there,
He
saves Africa. And then he drowns. He drowns when he gives...
Comes back to life like Bill Pullman in Serpent and the Rainbow.
He starts aging backwards.
Mm-hmm. And then does cocaine off of
That's
his
cocaine
ass.
off of his ass, man. Hey, that was a weird ending, man. That was a weird ending.
Well, he's a weird
Total-
writer. He's a weird
classic-
writer.
Classic Neal
He's
Stephenson,
a weird
man.
writer. Yeah, I know.
Classic. That was the fictional accounting of the Diamond Age. That was the Diamond Age by Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi, because that's the name of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we started this podcast because there weren't really that many sci-fi. There weren't any 3 dudes just sitting around talking about science fiction. Like,
I got an idea here.
What do you got?
Because there aren't. You know what, folks, you probably know this because you're sci-fi heads and loyal listenership and all. You're probably out there shopping around and going, I'm going to click on that sci-fi podcast. That's actually a sci-fi story. Mm-hmm. And then our buddies Decipher Sci-Fi are going at it hardcore. And we thank you guys for being on the air with us.
They're pretty good.
And talking about the good news when it comes to our, the form that we're passionate about, sci-fi. But what are you going to do, folks? How about listeners? Why don't you name the podcast? Let's see, because I'm kind of stumped. What do a bunch of nerds who are listening to sci-fi do? What do we do here? Rockin' sci-fi. What? Okay, you know what? This is a great exploration. Let's try and rename our podcast. Not to rename it. Let's just come up with the name that really should have been.
That it really should have been.
The name that really should have been.
Are we doing this right now? Or are we gonna... All right, well,
I mean, there's... Our podcasts are usually, they have a length of time.
You've got. I mean,
we don't have to do it as fast as we both read Neal Stephenson's Diamond Age this morning. That was a marathon.
That was 45 minutes. I mean, I read it while driving.
Yeah. I mean, some people say you don't retain shit when you're speed reading.
Bullshit.
I'm a firm believer. If you have contact with your fingers on every page,
that's how I read the whole thing. I didn't even look at it once.
I know, man.
Oh man,
crazy. That thing had an index.
When Jane
I read all the footnotes
she's
too.
floating in space in the clothes. I wept. Look, we sit down, we talk about sci-fi. That's what we do. We're not Radio Lab. We don't have the doom 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 doom. That's when I knew.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the car talk of science fiction.
Kind of, only we're not as funny or...
Don't read like George does.
This guy over here with his great points.
We are the car talk.
Only,
we need to have a phone in.
Maybe.
We could have a call-in science fiction show, man.
We could start having guests on. We could start doing... There's lots and lots of things...
if only Reddit would approve.
Oh, well.
Not that I seek approval and validation from what people say on the internet. No.
It's not like...
That would never happen.
It's not like any of this.
Never happen.
What is it? Righteous and anxious? Talking about when people
yeah.
tell us what we should be doing? Okay. Righteous and anxious.
But so we get to do it all again. We don't even have kids, George. What's the name of this podcast that kicks all other science fiction podcasts' asses?
Bleep and Blorp.
Bleep and Blorp. I'm trying to be serious here, George.
Bleep and Blorp. That's it. It's a great title for a podcast.
Beep, boop, beep,
No.
Processing.
Bleep and Blorp.
What if it's just not a name, it's a sound. It's the sound of when you signed on to dial-up. It's just, welcome to... ding, 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 ding.
Hi, this is, and I open my mouth and it's just like a construction noise.
That's science fiction, man.
Yeah,
remember that? Where those wires brought the information into your home where you could Google what a space opera was? Did we do that this week in between making podcasts?
Took 10 minutes.
Hell no.
Took 10 minutes for a naked picture to show up.
That's what you got when you Googled space opera?
Yeah, naked pictures. Oh, space opera. Oh,
no. Never. Clear history.
I'm in clear history. Will you do that if I die?
Clear your history?
Clear my history?
Totally, man.
I've never asked anyone, and I think you should have somebody that's like, we'll break into your apartment.
Just clear history.
Clear history on your computer.
God, Kevin, how many times you looked up space opera?
Don't worry about it.
Well, how about I just take the computer and smash it, and then walk away?
It's connected through my Google accounts.
So you're fucked.
Yeah. My phone, my desktop. Kevin, you need to set my home on fire. Okay.
Even if you're not dead?
No.
We need to go set your home on fire now, dude. Still getting egged?
I was, Like, what the fuck?
That's probably not her then anymore. That's a lot of eggs.
I don't know, man. It's a lot of eggs. And I don't even think she lives in California.
She might be filming here again. Maybe that's what it is.
That's true. Was that, do you think, Advantageous was shot in Los Angeles?
Why do I think it's Chinese?
No,
it's Japanese. Where's it shot? It's shot in the future, man.
It's shot in the future.
It's a science fiction movie, George.
They took the production into the future, 50 years. Those terrorist attacks, real. Man, future. I watched this Netflix series. Can't say I watched it. It's called Dark Matter.
What do you mean you can't say you watched it?
I got 15 minutes in. All right, 15 minutes in, and it's a bunch of people waking up from hypersleep.
I remember the summary. Yes, that's right.
Wake up from hypersleep. They're running around the ship. Oxygen's venting.
So a lot of
girl
beep,
just
beep,
knows.
beep, 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 beep,
Yeah,
beep, beep,
that's
beep.
exactly
Yeah.
it.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
exactly it. They decide to go around. They're waking everybody
Alarms.
up.
Well, there's no way to save oxygen. You wish you wake everyone up if we want to save oxygen.
Make sure we get everybody.
Hold on, I got a great idea to conserve oxygen. You up! You up! There's 100 of us, man.
So then they're on this ship. Some of them just intuitively know how to handle some things. One guy really, really likes weapons. Another guy knows how to fly stuff. And the moment the one guy delivers the line, they have no memory. They have no memories at all. But the moment the one guy delivers the line, well, we know our names. Our names are the order in which we woke up. You are 1. You are 2. I am 3. I stopped fucking watching it. And I was like, no, I don't have time for this.
So,
and then I have been told, I have now been told by my friends, you gotta stick with it, man. It's a slow burn. Alright?
listener, there's a look of amazement on my face because I realize that the Dark Matter episode we're about to have is predicated on 15 minutes of watching it, and then we turn it off. I've never seen this show.
I do not have
This is a
time
Dark Matter, all
for
right.
a slow burn anymore. I can't invest. If somebody tells me that, but here's the thing, some of the things I've enjoyed the most in my life, I would say, were things that didn't kickstart until, like, their second season.
Would you like, when I burn the house down, should it be a
Should
slow
be a slow
burn?
burn? Yeah, please. Well, I want time to get all the shit that I need to get out of there.
You're dead. You don't need, there ain't nothing, man.
Slow burn! Get it? Man. If you're reading a book and it's not spinning your wheels, do you stop?
Listener knows I've stopped Eon right here on the shelf by Greg Baer.
Oh, it's on the shelf too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so that's like you own that.
Yeah. Remember, I go buy all the cheap paperbacks for when my library wave crashes sometimes. But other than that, I'm either lucky by picking good stuff or stuff that's engaging, or there's kind of a thing for me as a reader. I'll sprint it. If it's sucking, I'll be like, I'll sprint it. I owe it to our science fiction listeners to be able to speak about the whole thing. Different than how you approach things with the whole Dark Matter thing. I'm playing around, but are you going to watch more of them?
I doubt it.
How many episodes? How many seasons?
One season, probably 13 episodes.
That's a slow burn? I guess so. Could be a slow burn.
Someone said, like, you know...
Listener, could you please let us know what a slow burn is?
A slow burn is something that...
I want listener to do it.
I'm going to tell you what a slow burn is, alright?
Slowly?
Slow burn, Sanders, is...
No.
I got political. No.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Fuck
man.
that.
We're in the future.
Back from the future. Slow burn is something you gotta give some time because it doesn't really get going until it's got a couple episodes under its belt. One of my favorite TV series, you might roll your eyes, is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I don't know. I remember there's something that's like punk rockers saying they love the Smiths.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. The Smiths are great.
Yeah, the Smiths are great.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so it's okay.
I mean, yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
First season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer did kind of suck. It was very Monster of the Week. The difference in quality between the first season and the second season and then all the subsequent seasons was vast.
So do you jump on Buffy right when it starts, or do you hear that this is a slow burn or something and you watch it because people in your peer group are into it?
I started at the beginning, went straight through. You know.
So there's like no shame in your game. It's not. Why did you even watch it in the first place? Is it got some? You seem like the kind of guy who gets a reference, like this so-and-so who did this, does this.
Firefly.
Firefly guy. Okay.
Firefly,
so you're like checking it out.
Firefly was the first thing Joss Whedon did.
This is Joss Whedon.
No, it's not the first thing
How
he did.
cool is that name?
It's the first thing. Oh, it's so cool.
He's way cool. Joss Whedon.
Joss
yeah.
Whedon. It's sci-fi,
He's like,
man.
It's almost like he's got a side rat tail.
Yeah, side
coming out
rat
of his
tail.
head.
I don't think he can grow one. He's pretty bald. Yeah.
He's old? No. See, Joss Whedon to me, I have no idea. Joss Whedon, I imagine like some cool, badass, smart dude in a Ferrari.
Don't Google him.
Who's like,
no.
He's like, I'm Joss Whedon.
He's like one of the nerdiest dudes in the world,
never
man.
mind.
He's like a bald-headed ginger who talks like a full-on nerd, like really, really slow. Like, hey, this is what I was doing, and then when Buffy came out, I did this. He's the coolest guy in the world. Really, really, like, not cool, but nerd cool. This guy directed the fucking Avengers.
That means nothing.
That's
to me.
amazing.
Can we wring any other information out of your 15 minutes of research on Dark Matter?
Other than I don't think you need to watch Dark Matter now. All right, get three good-looking girls, pretty politically correct casting, and standard sci-fi future spaceship design, dark monochromatic corridors and touchscreen consoles.
But do you remember what the summary says when you're on Netflix? Because I remember they wake up out of deep space and then have to figure out why they're. What do they say?
I'm sure. Yeah, that's it. It's then now they must all come together to figure out what their purpose is, or something. And I don't know.
I wanted to say something for the younger audience.
Like the kids.
What a slow burn is? It sounds like it's reading.
Oh, maybe
It's
that's
like
my
reading.
objection to it. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think you're objecting to a slow burn, but I mean that's you don't get it all. We read. That's a slow burn. It gets built up.
I disagree because a book has to hook you too. You got to get hooked. You got to have something that goes, and even shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, first couple episodes show you, hey, this is the bad guy, and he's fucking cool. All right. So I wanted to see more of him. You got to have that initial, I'm grabbing your attention and I'm keeping you in. It's got to happen in the first half hour. Otherwise, what am I doing? For a book, that's got to happen in the first 20, 30 pages.
But if it's a slow burn, then it does not. Because the
should.
guys are saying it's like creeper weed. They're saying dude, you smoke this and you're not so high yet. And I was like, wow, man.
A slow burn is just
I never even think I had creeper weed ever.
I never had creeper weed.
It's weird, man. Yeah. Creeper weed is good weed.
I thought
it
creeper
just
weed
creeps up on you, man.
Oh.
It creeps up on you, bro. Yeah, dude.
No.
Smoke a little, driving down the street. Fuck, everything's weird.
No, we grew up in different weed times, though.
We did.
I grew up when, actually, because I was getting, the LA farm, when things got medical card.
Don't even start me on that.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say, I got a one-liner, man. I eat a lot of smoothies now, and I used to take the seeds out. Now I'm putting the seeds back in. That's all I got. Hemp protein. Who knew? Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, man.
Slow burn, I think, is a way of saying that this has failed. Yeah. You
don't
have
think
not
that guy's
accomplished-
a slow burn. Trust me, man. I dug it. You think he's just lying?
No. I think he's
Who
saying...
told you it was a slow burn?
I think he's saying... just a friend of mine. I think he's saying you need to give it something you're not really supposed to give. Oh, no. I know what you're saying. It sucks for half of it. But if you get past the half that sucks, then it's okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I do know what I mean. You know what you mean, too.
I know what I mean.
But here's what I mean. Planet for Rent.
Slow burn?
Yas. Shit burn.
Oh, no.
Burning potato. No, man.
Yas.
Yeah, I don't mean to speak of you this way, Yas. There's a new wave of Cuban sci-fi going on, and
add his name to the enemies list.
yeah, he's big too.
Is it YOSS?
He's a big Cuban, and he's free to come here now, apparently.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I can't wait till we do that one, the Cuban edition.
Let him come with nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and he's got bandanas. You should Google Yas, ladies and gentlemen. It comes like this.
But not Joss Whedon.
But no. That's already ruined for me. Hold on, we're going to let the cat in.
Hey, cat.
2 cats. Actually, we're going to close the door on those. That'll get loud.
They will fend for themselves Christmas.
Yeah. Shit.
We
Not like there's coyotes that run around in Highland Park.
We tossed out some little kitty armor and swords. They're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi and fantasy.
And fantasy.
Yas is this new sci-fi writer out of Cuba. And you've heard us speak about Xizhen Liu, the Chinese sci-fi writer who is hip and contemporary. September 20th, the third part of A Three-Body Problem comes out, by the way. But it made me think, what do we got going on here? Is this stuff novel because it's coming from somewhere? Especially, I just realized 2 communist countries, ex-communist countries, whatever the hell they are. Is it like, does it get in the circle and get approved because it's an outsider?
Yeah,
and is that argument?
That's
the sad puppies and whatever those. Okay, the
sad
Yugos.
puppies and like.
So
are we paying things?
Here's what Yoss does, man. We have a planet that's been wrecked, and it's an alien vacation stop. So, through a series of basically short stories, there's a couple names, 2 that run through it, and somehow, like kind of through a 6 degrees of separation, these people are related. After that, it's an expose on all the crappy stuff. Humans are third-class citizens. We whore ourselves out, and we want to get off the planet. There's like crooked security officers that are in the pockets of aliens. There's an alien species that's kind of like blue and slick and sexy. There's one that's like a dinosaur, and there's one that's an insectoid. I mean, like, what is this paper bag this dude wrote me into? I'm like, really? I mean, come on, man.
Because what I've heard is it's an allegory of Cuba. That it's,
right, so what?
But that's what
dude?
And that goes back to, like, all right, so are we now giving these things more recognition than they deserve on their own merit simply because he's a Chinese writer in a landscape?
I got news for you. The word allegory is old. People have been using allegory for a long time.
Or he's a Cuban writer when there are no Cuban sci-fi writers.
I had to sprint through this. There was parts I was just glossing over. He does like a 30-page thing about some galactic sport, which is just boring, man. There's a guy who is a human who lives in the he's got a benefactor who's an alien, and he's an artist, and his art is this physical what the heck is that art called when you are like peeing in your pants while people are watching you?
Performance art.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like he fully mutilates and disintegrates himself, and his cells can be rejuvenated, and that's his art. It was horribly slow. It just trudged along, and I don't get it. I don't think it deserves praise. Now,
but is it receiving praise?
I believe so. You Google it. I mean, I think it's got Yugo contention.
Okay, so that again brings.
And when you look it up, you'll find like people are talking about like what's going on in Cuba. Well, there's a guy Yas, and he's painting a picture of what it would look like, and you're just automatically it just seems like part of the machine, which is ironic for a subversive Cuban.
Writing, yeah. He's gonna drive by now and yell out the window, "It's Cuba, you fucker! Don't you get it? It's an allegory."
Yeah. Well, I mean, Three-Body Problem, Xizhen Liu is done with grace and is real. I mean, is totally different and is directly speaking about actual historic events in Chinese history.
Yeah, the Cultural Revolution and
apples and oranges. I wish the best for him. I mean, obviously the best is for him. He's a rock star in Cuba. But it was probably supposed to be funny. It made me think of, I've told you that I thought it would touch on your kind of humor thing. I don't even know if it is, man. I haven't. And so, yes, I finished what could have been a slow burn. I don't think it burned. It was like a wet blanket. And it was painful. I went on a vacation with it, so it seemed like it took a long time to read. Some easy reading. And I'll tell it to you like this. I would trudge through that book 13, 17 pages. I crack open Woken Furies by Richard K. Morgan. And, dude, I do 43 pages in the first night.
Just like nothing.
Just
like,
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's like the difference.
And that's where I'm like, whether you like what Richard K. Morgan's doing, there's a style of writing, a smartness, a quickness, dude. And, there was just, there's like a crooked, let's call it planetary protection agency guy, and they're in the pocket of the aliens, and he's talking to a rookie cop, and it might as well have been a dude on the New York City streets. There was nothing original about it except the expose factor, because clearly if this man describes how you can be crooked, you start to see a little bit about how aliens interact and are using us for a vacation spot. Earth is just this, it's like the Bahamas or something.
But it's just face.
Lame.
It's just like on its face. There's nothing deeper going on.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Like, dude, if this is your allegory,
it's lazy.
I mean, maybe it's all he's got. I mean, I don't want to be a hater, but they're probably going to behead him because it's pretty transparent. That ain't Heart of a Dog by Bulgakov. No, it isn't. Or The Master of Margarita, thank you.
Yes, best of luck, man.
Mm-hmm.
He probably lives in L.A. at this point. I mean, I'm willing to bet
he's going to come and egg your house is what he's going to do.
Bring it on, Yas!
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Join the fucking egg machine gun fire that happens at my house on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not getting boxes of unused washing machine parts stolen from outside my home, I'm getting eggs tossed at my window by disgruntled film directors whose movies I loved.
By the way, we weren't. That wasn't a thing, man. When we said your name like that, Rachel,
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Yeah,
It's just
Jennifer.
your last name.
It's just your last name.
It's another name for a tooth.
It's another name for a it's a funny.
And do you know when you go get your tooth fixed?
Does your tooth hurt?
Do you know what time of day you get a fang
Such
fixed?
a juvenile joke. So terrible. See, it would have made
this is
sense.
the Juvenile Podcast. We talk about Twizzlers here, Red Vines. We're eating Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Twizzlers and moon pies.
Rocky Road, moon pies. We've been asked to expand our demographic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Twizzlers and Moon Pies. My name is George Moon Pie Riccadella. It's my friend Kevin Twizzler Stack.
Yeah.
Bringing you all the latest and greatest about the most recent advances in confectionery design. I love that you have a mousetrap game on your bookshelf, man. That game's sci-fi.
Busy Daddy. So that's my second attempt at Mousetrap. That game is not sci-fi.
It's totally sci-fi.
Just don't say it just because we're recording a sci-fi podcast, man.
Sci-fi. Look at that trouble there, too.
Yeah.
Sci-fi.
Do you think these
Robot turtles?
That is sci-fi.
That's sci-fi, man. Yeah.
That's a coding game. Settlers of Catan there. That's fantasy,
fantasy.
George. That's fantasy.
It's fantasy. No.
I hope the Reddit guys approve of that.
Oh, I'm sure they're all over that.
Richard K. Morgan, Woken Furies, Part 3 in the Takeshi Kovacs. Kovacs. This one's good, folks. You've heard me try and explain sleeves and stacks and all that ways that we travel in and out of different bodies in the worlds he's made. And this is the last one in the trilogy. He's been double-sleeved. And
what does that mean?
I mean, there's two of him running around. One by the Japanese Yakuza, who want him dead for screwing up something he was assigned by them. And I'll tell you, folks, when you read these books, this dude tells it in the first person. You know he's not going to die at the end. He's smooth. He's slick. He's a badass. He's high functioning. You would love to be this dude walking into a room knowing how many edges there were and how many neck to throat punches you would do to get out of there. And that's basically what he does. And he gets shot and works through it because he's just been conditioned like this. And what an interesting place to be, where this dude who cannot be fucked for long by any situation I've read in 200-300 pages novels has his own ass coming after him. And guess what? Takeshi Kovacs always gets his man.
Shit.
So I'm reading the man who's got him after him. And that, my friends, is a cool idea.
That is a damn cool idea. Because now when you're bringing this up, I'm trying to think of other examples of science fiction that plays with that idea. We watched Advantageous, and it's almost like the basics, the starting point.
It would be like it would have been the first move.
Yeah.
Takeshi Kovacs is 300 years away in the future, and sleeving is just second nature. There's pensions for sleeves, so you and I who don't make much money, we're going to get one sleeve allowance. Okay. We're paying in on Social Security.
Sleeve for
you can ice someone in their stack and bring them back in a sleeve, a rental sleeve for like birthdays or anniversaries. So grandma, great grandma could watch the next kid come.
That sounds dense. That's awesome.
But usually the rich have multiple
you're
sleeves.
still. I mean, you're born. You know, normal dude, got a body. Can you just go? You know what? I want to change. I want to do. Or is there some inception to why you'd want to do this? Like, is there a reason behind why you're getting a new?
We live longer now.
You
just stay in another body.
So you grow until
you could clone your sleeve and appear like that. There's quite often 10 and a 12-year-old body who has the behaviors of a 40-year-old because he's like a gangster that's been re-sleeved and he likes like 10 to 20,
That's
and
cool.
he's just like a badass little kid who's got like a twitch. He's always referring to stuff that's beyond his age.
That's
eye
cool.
moves and vocal inflections
That's
and
cool.
stuff.
So with that, is like Earth insanely overpopulated, or is it a
Earth? Oh, they're in different systems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's Harlan's world and Adoration is another planet. There's a bunch of cool different planets that they're on, and
Earth is.
There's been an alien presence too that's no longer around. These places that we found when we left Earth were inhabited by aliens that are ancient, and so you can go to like ruins and see like the aliens. By the way, are like winged creatures. They've got like Aries and stuff, and really cool things. But they're like space flight aliens too.
Is Earth talked about as though it's like the Earth of old, like legend?
Yeah, old Earth. I forget his phrase, but yeah. But you can still go there. He can go to Rio de Janeiro and go kick some ass and then get out of there. You needle cast 2 places if you don't take your body, so you can transmit, and that way your stack goes to another stack, and then sleeves up.
So transportation is.
If you got to be rich enough to do it. You can just be stuck. You can be
It's basically like you're not physically going from a place to a place. Your stack is.
In Harlan's world, his home planet where he's now, there's a ring of ancient alien starships in the orbit, and they still work, and all they do is not let anyone get above 400 miles out of the orbit, and they'll shoot anything down. So there's no flight used on that planet, so people still take boats around and stuff. Needle casting is how do I get to another planet.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can't get off Harlan's world, and so you get fried, man. They just they call it angel fire.
Nice.
Which is why you start to realize that there was broken angels. That's when he introduced the aliens, and Woken Furies is a different thing. But there's always these predecessors.
So
which are really cool.
3 novels in with this guy. Now,
yeah. 4th I've read. Remember we read 13.
13.
Which is very resemblant. These 3 are the first 3 he wrote. 13's down the road for him. Very similar. Very cool. It's hard-hitting, ass-kicking stuff. There's like a bond, like you're not really worried about him, but he gets in a pinch, and so it's just this smooth, awesome slickness. And then a cool puzzle. It's great crime.
See, that sounds cool. Sounds like a joy. Sounds like you're having a good time.
I am.
I'm going to reread The Diamond Age, I think.
I'll do it too then.
Yeah,
that way. I mean, it's usually when we have content that we've both experienced, the podcast usually benefits from that. And you can tell by the way we talked about Diamond Age earlier in this cast that probably rereading it.
Yeah, because I mean, we talked about Diamond Age and that went really well, and then we talked about Dark Matter, which I only watched 15 minutes of.
Yeah.
And and then you talked.
Well, I'm curious about the allegory in Diamond Age. It's as if.
Clearly they're talking about the bubonic plague.
Right.
It's an allegory.
But it's a cyber disease. So it's an allegory for us on our cell phones.
On our cell phones.
It's a Pokemon Go allegory, actually. It's an indictment.
It's the start of
It's
it.
an indictment against people on their cell phones.
You gotta catch them all.
Was it this morning where I was like, I've let tech off the hook, but if you're having a vaping contest, you're still a total douchebag. Yeah. Yeah. Not that I'm judgmental.
No.
Or anything like that. No.
There's nothing at all wrong with vaping selfie sticks. Any of the things that I find personally reprehensible, I don't judge people for using those whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm enlightened.
You're free to do what you want. I mean, if you're not playing by my rules, maybe I'm, talk about you on a podcast.
It's very important that people get together and find out who can blow the bigger cloud, and whether it's a girl or a boy, and then make smoke rings dance.
Is it sponsored by Monster or
Sponsored
Rockstar?
by probably Monster, and then like the vape juice companies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But I do think vape is sci-fi. P.S. Think about.
I would rather in a movie
sci-fi,
in the future.
Dude. It's how we smoke. It has changed smoking.
Yeah.
It's smoking in the future. There is an 80s movie where people are vaping because it's cigarettes and it's cyberpunk or something.
Yes. My personal preference for like seeing a sci-fi movie, I'd rather see people smoking.
What's the smoking? Is it a graphic novel? What's the thing? It's a cigarette with a little bubble on the end. I'm seeing an image. It's from a movie or a graphic novel that's sci-fi. And they crack them to make them start. Where is this?
No, where is this? You're right.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it completely.
Sci-fi. It's sci-fi.
It's sci-fi.
Hey, this might be underhanded, but some sci-fi isn't good.
Some sci-fi is not too
Hey!
good. Some sci-fi should not be indulged in. Mm-hmm. You know?
Well, maybe vaping's an allegory for
douchebags.
It's a symbol. No, that's a symbol.
Symbol, not an allegory.
Yeah, no, it's a symbol.
Oh, man.
Of D-bags.
There goes the other half of our listeners.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
We're going to have Yas.
Blowing.
Yas is going to drive by tomorrow yelling while blowing loads of smoke in my face. It's an allegory for Cuba!
Mm-hmm.
Taste my strawberry frittles flavored vape juice.
You frittles?
I don't know what frittles are.
Could be. I bet there's Twizzler. I bet there's
I'm
gotta
sure
be the red
Twizzler.
one. Yeah.
I'm sure there's Twizzler.
Fucking A.
I mean, there's every other flavor. I mean, there's like there's bubble gum. There's a fruity pebble.
Is there Badusi?
Badusi. Oh yeah.
Totally. Yeah. That's real
That's
good.
a popular.
Google that. Listener, if you could let us know what Badusi really is. I've been playing that one since I saw that flavor of an instance in a Houston, Texas head shop in about 1988.
You could possibly.
I've always wondered if it was maybe a little risque.
If you could possibly write, like a solid 5 paragraphs on Badusi, and what that means to you.
And a screenshot of Urban Dictionary does not count.
No.
Way.
Although they might co-opt it for their own purposes.
You could, if you write a definition of Badusi for Urban Dictionary, that flies, listener. And we thank you again for participating.
We got a little blue on this one, didn't we?
I don't even know what blue means.
We got a little. You don't know what blue means? Like if a comic goes
It's sad.
blue?
It's sad.
No,
it's a comic. Yeah.
The comic goes
So we don't
blue,
have the
it goes
blues
a little
right now.
Goes a little like risque. A little blue.
Yeah, a little blue. Yeah.
Like, Richard Pryor is a little blue.
Richard Pryor's dark, dude. That's a dark matter. I'm like, that's comedy?
That's racist.
No! I mean his content!
Alright, thanks for listening. You can subscribe to Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you listen, please take the time to rate and review. Reviews keep us on the charts, and that way people can find us. You can follow us at BDD Sci-Fi on Twitter and Instagram, or if you want to learn more about the Busy Daddies, check out bddsci-fi.com. Thanks for listening, and see you every other Wednesday.